Hello friends, welcome to the second lecture of this topic electricity. In the second lecture, we will be learning about ohmic conductors. Conductors. Okay. What are ohmic conductors? Previously we have learned Ohm's law. Ohm's law. What was stated in Ohm's law? It was stated that if a conductor, if a potential difference is created across the conductor, the current flowing through it is directly proportional. Fine. So what is stated? V varies as I, and we have learned one more formula, that is V Ri. Okay, there is one controversial statement. Is it V varies as I, V or V equal to IR? Which one is true? Which one is true? See, from basic numerical perspective, we can say that both are true. Both are true. Which one is more true? To be precise, I repeat, to be precise, this one is more true. For writing the statement, we will prefer writing this one rather than this. See, let me explain why it is not true. It is less true and why it is more true. I'm not saying it's not true, it's true. See, writing every equation where we put the proportionality constant. Is it before the dependent variable or after the dependent variable? It's clear. In every, from class 9th onwards, we have been learning about the constants. The first constant in class 9th we have learned, it was the gravitation constant, gravity constant G, where we used to put it before the formula we used to put G, right, for the force. So similarly, if my current is this dependent variable, what will be my G? This is the constant, right? Similarly, if in case of electricity, by Ohm's law, we are going to put R before an I. So it indicates that R is the proportionality constant, not I. If we write like this, V equal to IR, it proves that the I is the proportionality constant. But in this formula, the proportionality constant is R. So we have to make sure that we write it correctly. Otherwise, the examiner is going to deduct marks for knowing nothing. You know the concepts properly, but you don't know how to represent it properly, then it's of no use, right? Okay. So, what is ohmic conductor? Those conductor which follows Ohm's law, which follows Ohm's law. So, in my statement of Ohm's law, I have one thing I have told, that the temperature, right? Temperature, physical quantities as like pressure. Pressure is there, temperature is there, humidity, there's a lot of physical quantities are there, has to be constant. Have to keep constant, then we are going to obtain something like this in a conductor. For example, we take a piece of copper. We take a piece of copper, we applied a small voltage, very small voltage across it. Assume 0.1 volts. The current is 2 amperes. Fine. We again increase the voltage to 0.2 volts. The current will be 4 amperes. 0.6 6 amperes. Like this, if we draw a graph, see, we can easily obtain a straight line going through origin. So, to calculate the slope of this line, what we will do? V by I, that is equal to resistance, that is the slope of this line. Fine. Okay. Assume this one is a voltage V, 0.1 divided by 2, which will be equal to 0.05 ohms. The unit of resistance is ohms. Okay, it is denoted with this Greek letter sigma. Sorry, omega. I'm sorry, it's omega. Okay, so what we have learned, R equal to V by I. So assume this is a resistor, this is a symbol of a resistor. We applied a voltage V. We can obtain a current I. The value of the resistance is R ohms. So if we are asked to find the formula of V equal to IR, I equal to V by R and R equal to V by I. These are three formulas that can be obtained from Ohm's law. That's it. That is the pretty basics. If my conductor is following this straight line, then this is called ohmic conductor. I repeat, if my conductor is following the straight line, then it is called ohmic conductor. Otherwise, it is a non-ohmic conductor. See, one more term I am going to introduce you here, that is linearity. Linearity. What is linearity? Linearity, when a material satisfies both homogeneity and additivity, then it is called the system is linear. System or signal, anything, the system is linear. So what is homogeneity and additivity? Okay, for example, let's move back to this example. This one is 0.1 volts, right? This one is 0.4 volts, right? 0.6 minus 0.6 minus 0.5 volts, fine. Sorry, I made a mistake here. It would be 0.3, the 0.2. Okay, I made a mistake. So sorry for that. Okay. So for 0.1 ampere, the current was flowing to be 2 amperes. For 0.2 amperes, the current was flowing 4 amperes. If we add, we are going to get 0.3 volts, 0.3 volts, and what is the current? That is 6 amperes, right? So similarly, you can see from the graph, you can verify from the graph, it is 6 amperes for 0.3 volts, right? You can verify from the graph the current is at 0.3 volts, it's 6 amperes. So this is called linearity, additivity property. When we are adding to two values, we are obtaining the same value. That is in physical world. That is called linearity. Suppose if I ask you to find for this graph, let me assume the current is 2 volts. Current is 2 volts. Sorry for that. How much will be the voltage is 2 volts, and what was the current? We don't know. We have to find. So let's apply one of this formula. What we know? We know the voltage. We know the resistance. 0.05, right? So we are applying this formula. Voltage is given to be 2 volts. Resistance, that is 0.05. It would be around something like 40 amperes, right? So we can easily find this 40 amperes when we are applying 2 volt across this resistor, conductor, anything, any material, any ohmic material which follows Ohm's law and linearity, we can say that it's 40 amperes. Otherwise, if the graph was something like this, can you find it? Impossible. Not impossible. When you are going for masters, you can find using some tools called numerical methods are there. Gauss-Seidel method is there. Newton-Raphson method is there. So basically, in R, we are going to learn deal with linear systems only linear systems. So as I have told you about non-linearity, let's move for the next topic. Is similar to this. All topics are related. One thing for sure, I can assure you this: all the topics that I am teaching here is related to one and each other. Just need to follow the link. Once you are able to follow the link, it is just a game of mathematics. Okay, just need to follow the links. So next topic is non-ohmic conductors. Non-ohmic conductors or resistors, any you can call it. Non-ohmic conductors. For ohmic conductors, what we have seen, the graph is something like this. Fine. For ohmic. In non-ohmic case, the graph will be something like this, anything except straight line. For example, if my current is 1 volt, 1 amperes. What is the current here, dear? 2 volt, something 10 amperes. 11 volt, 100 amperes. Okay, so you cannot find the current anywhere. If I ask to find the current with a when the applied voltage is 0.5 volts. Can you find it? It's impossible to find. We have to do complex mathematics to find it. So these conductors which doesn't follow this straight line is called non-ohmic conductor. The best example of a non-ohmic conductor is a diode. A diode. In diode you will learn in physics and later on. This is called threshold voltage VTH. See, this VTH is around 0.7 volts for silicon diodes and for germanium it's around 0.3. Okay. See, the current for 0.7 volts is around 0.01 amperes, very low. Milliampere, microamperes. The less is the leakage current, the better is the diode is. So it is very less. Suddenly, if you increase the voltage 1 volt, it would be something around X, 2 volts, 2x or something 2x or something like that. So this system is non-linear. You cannot find the what is the current at 0.4 volt or 4 volts. You cannot find. You don't have a formula for this. So the conductor which doesn't follows this kind of straight line is called non-ohmic conductor. The examples are diode. First example diode, Zener diode. Number 3, filament, bulb filament. 4, gas discharge lamp. There are n number of examples. We have got transistor. A lot of examples are there of non-ohmic conductor. In practical world, the metals are good conductors, follow Ohm's law. Non-metal semiconductors doesn't follow Ohm's law. They change. Okay. So I would like to conclude this lecture with this. So let's give a brief summary of this lecture. So we have learned ohmic conductors, non-ohmic. What is the difference? Follows Ohm's law. Doesn't follow Ohm's law. Non-ohmic conductor you cannot find the value of current on paper at any given voltage, right? For ohmic conductor you can find the value, you can find value on paper. So this is non-linear, this is linear. Most of the metals, semiconductors or metalloids come under this category. That's it. The system which follows Ohm's law, those are ohmic conductors. Does it follow Ohm's law? These are non-ohmic conductors. That's it. That's the basics. Just need to revise these topics once again so that you can understand the next part of this lecture. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.